Welcome everyone to the second part of first chapter, which is pharmacodynamics. So in last lecture I already told you what is pharmacodynamics. Pharmacodynamics is a study of a drug on the body. So pharmacodynamic mechanism of action is mostly done by two things. First is enzyme inhibitors and second is receptors. So let's study enzyme inhibitors. What is enzyme inhibitors? So for enzyme inhibitors we must know first competitive and non-competitive, and we know about this by Kmax and velocity max. So for example, if there is a competition, you have to run more kilometers, so Km will increase in competitive and velocity will remain same. But in non-competitive you don't need to run, so that's why Km will remain same and velocity will decrease. So let's study this on a graph so you can better understand what I want to tell you. So in this first graph you can see velocity is same but Kmax is increased. So whenever on y-axis both lines like inhibitors and non-inhibitor intersect, it is known as competitive. And in second graph you can see whenever lines meet at x-axis, so it is non-competitive. They will give in exam, they will mostly give this diagrams without names, so they will just give you this like this graph and there will be two lines. If lines are intersecting each other at y-axis, then they are competitive, and if the line is intersecting on x-axis, then they are non-competitive. Only this thing will be asked, and I think it will be sure that you will write, you will mark it correct. So move on to the next thing, which is classification of drug. So this is so important thing that you must remember now. For example, I gave you one drug, and that drug must bind with receptor and then it will increase heart rate. Okay, so there are two factors which take role in that. First is affinity and second is intrinsic activity. So a drug must have a affinity. Without affinity it cannot bind with receptor, and intrinsic activity tells us about how the drug is powerful or what kind of effect it is giving. Okay, so I just want to tell that अगर आप कोई ड्रग लेते हो और वो आपकी बॉडी में जाएगा तो फर्स्ट थिंग उसने क्या करना चाहिए, वो रिसेप्टर के साथ बाइंड होगा, उसके साथ वो जाके आपकी हार्ट रेट बढ़ाएगा फॉर एग्जांपल. ओके, तो ड्रग रिसेप्टर के साथ बाइंड होने के लिए द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग है कि वो ड्रग की एफिनिटी होनी चाहिए. विदाउट एफिनिटी ड्रग कैन नॉट बाइंड टू रिसेप्टर. एंड सेकेंड थिंग इंट्रिंसिक एक्टिविटी. व्हाट इज इंट्रिंसिक एक्टिविटी? इंट्रिंसिक एक्टिविटी वो है जो आपको बताएगी कि इस ड्रग का इफेक्ट पॉजिटिव वे में है, नेगेटिव वे में या न्यूट्रल है. ओके, सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज एगोनिस्ट विच हैज द मैक्सिमम इफेक्ट. ओके, मैक्सिमम इंट्रिंसिक एक्टिविटी और वी कैन से मैक्सिमम इफेक्ट. सो एगोनिस्ट क्या होता है? फॉर एग्जांपल आपने एक ड्रग दिया और वो ड्रग आपकी हार्ट रेट 10, 20, 30 बढ़ा रहा है, वो उसकी मैक्सिमम ये रहेगी इंट्रिंसिक एक्टिविटी. तो मैक्स जो होगा, जो हार्ट के लिए मैक्स 30 तक जा सकता है, हार्ट बीट मैक्स 30 तक बढ़ सकती, तो वो किससे दी जाएगी? वो दी जाएगी एगोनिस्ट ड्रग्स से. ओके, व्हाट इज पार्शियल एगोनिस्ट? पार्शियल एगोनिस्ट में 30 से थोड़ा कम बट नॉट 30, मैक्सिमम नहीं दे पाएगा, मैक्सिमम थोड़ा कम, वो होगा पार्शियल एगोनिस्ट. सो +1 और मे बी लेस देन 1, बट नेगेटिव नहीं होगा. इनवर्स और वी कैन से नेगेटिव. इनवर्स आप जानते हैं एगोनिस्ट का इनवर्स क्या होगा, मतलब वो नेगेटिव इफेक्ट देगा. एंड लास्ट इज एंटागोनिस्ट. एंटागोनिस्ट का कोई इफेक्ट नहीं होता, वो जस्ट टेक पार्ट करता है, बाइंड भी होता है, बट उसका कोई इफेक्ट नहीं होता, वो न्यूट्रल टाइप रिएक्शन देता है. सो व्हाट आई वांट टू टेल इन दिस, इन क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ ड्रग्स, you must have a drug, it must attach to the receptor, then after attaching or binding to the receptor it will give some reaction. That reaction will, for example, it will make your heart rate increase. Okay, to take this role or to follow this process there are two things which are important. First is affinity and second is intrinsic activity. So what is affinity? Affinity is the power of a drug to attach with the receptor. Without affinity a drug cannot attach to the receptor. Second, intrinsic activity. What is intrinsic activity? For example, you gave a drug and it will increase your heart rate. Okay, but how much it will increase heart rate? Like for example, any drug you can give, but it will only increase heart rate till 30 beats. After that no drug can increase more. So for example, agonist will make maximum increase in heartbeat. It can increase till 30. but partial. What is partial agonist will do? It will not do 30 but less than 30. For example, it will do 28 or maybe 25. But in inverse, it will go to the negative. It can make negatives like minus 15 or minus 20 or minus 30 it can make. But in antagonists do not have any action. It will not increase or not decrease. It will remain on zero only. So whatever will be the heart rate when you give the medicine, before medicine will be same, after medicine also will be same in antagonist. So just we'll see this graph and you will remember it little bit more better. For example, this is your heart rate. Okay, so as I told you, antagonists do not have any action. You can see it's even on zero, and inverse has negative. So, and the first one, the highest one will be always agonist, second highest will be partial agonist, neutral will be antagonist, and inverse as its name it will be negative. So जस्ट मुझे ये बोलना है कि अगर आपको ऐसा ग्राफ दिया जा रहा है एग्जाम में और फर्स्ट ऐसी लाइन ड्रॉ की और आपको ये नाम नहीं दिखाई दे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये नाम आपको नहीं दिए, आपको सिर्फ ये डायग्राम दी ए बी सी डी के साथ, तो फर्स्ट ऑलवेज हाई विल बी एगोनिस्ट, सेकेंड हाइस्ट विल बी पार्शियल एगोनिस्ट, न्यूट्रल विल बी एंटागोनिस्ट, एंड द लास्ट वन विच इज नेगेटिव विल बी इनवर्स एंटागोनिस्ट, inverse agonist. So move on to the next part, which is types of receptor. There are 4 types of receptor in our body. First is inotropics, enzymatic, G protein, and intracellular. Okay, so move on to the first, which is inotropic receptor, which is the fastest receptor in our body. Okay, because it is, for example, you can look at this diagram and you will know why. It is open channel, like it's always open, so sodium can come inside, potassium get outside. Again this process will be continuous, so it has a fastest receptors, and it's are present in brain as GABA, NMDA. In nerves it is NM and NM, and the last one is serotonin, the third one. So okay, so always remember these are the fastest in our body. Next one is enzymatic receptor, which also known as tyrosine kinase receptor. It is divided in 2 parts. First is cytokines and second is hormones. First are the interleukins, INF, TNF, and hormones you can remember as prolactin, insulin, and growth hormone. Also you can remember as PIG for hormone. So you can remember in enzymatic receptor what happens, this drug will come, it will attach to this part of the receptor and it will give reaction inside, so it will attach outside and reaction will be done inside. Okay, so let me summarize this again. Inotropic receptor क्या होते हैं, ये हमारे बॉडी के फास्टेस्ट रिसेप्टर है. फॉर एग्जांपल क्योंकि ये ओपन चैनल होते हैं तो इनके अंदर कोई भी ड्रग आएगा फास्टेस्ट रिएक्शन होगी, बिकॉज उनको स्टॉप करने वाला कोई भी नहीं, वो अटैच होंगे रिसेप्टर पे और रिएक्शन देंगे. ओके, सो वो कहाँ प्रेजेंट होते हैं, फर्स्ट हमारे ब्रेन में प्रेजेंट होते हैं, सेकंड नर्व्स एंड सेरोटोनिन में. ओके, एंड ब्रेन में गाबा, एनएमडीए, इन नर्व्स एनएम एंड एनएम. ओके, इन सेकेंड एंजाइमेटिक रिसेप्टर ऑल्सो नोन एज टायरोसिन काइनेस. तो ये 2 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड है, एक साइटोकाइंस एंड हार्मोन्स. साइटोकाइंस की 3 एग्जांपल है गिवन हियर, इंटरलूकिन्स, टीएनएफ एंड आईएनएफ. सो एंजाइमेटिक रिसेप्टर में क्या होता है, एक ड्रग आएगा बाहर से जो रिसेप्टर की इस पार्ट पे अटैच होगा, वो आउटसाइड अटैच होगा पर रिएक्शन इनसाइड होगी. जैसे कि ये एंजाइम है, इसकी रिएक्शन इनसाइड होगी, ड्रग ने तो बाहर अटैच हुआ है यहाँ पे, बट रिएक्शन विल बी डन इनसाइड. ओके, एंड हार्मोन के लिए आप ये निमोनिक याद रख सकते हो एज अ पिग, प्रोलैक्टिन, इंसुलिन एंड ग्रोथ हार्मोन. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट इज G protein couple receptor. G protein couple receptor. Almost all the drugs are attached to this receptor, almost in the body. So there is a unique thing about this drug. This drug first it will, for example, this drug come and it will attach to G protein couple receptor. Then this G protein couple receptor will activate G protein. This G protein will be activated and then it will give 2 reaction inside. First will be more maybe inactive and second is always active. Okay, after giving active reaction it can stimulate 3 things. It can do 3 things. First it can stimulate and can make cyclic AMP, then second calcium, and then third to iron channel. So as you can see, first, second and third. So G protein stimulus देगा, so stimulus देगा तो cyclic AMP increase होगा, and अगर inhibition करेगा तो cyclic AMP decrease होगा, and GQ means convert करेगा, G protein convert करेगा ग्लूकोज को. So as I told you, G protein stimulus will increase, then increase of cyclic AMP will increase. If it will inhibit, then cyclic AMP will decrease, and it will convert, so calcium will form. Then the last one is intracellular receptor. They are the most slowest receptor in our body, and the main thing is they are only lipid soluble. Okay, and there are two things. First is cytoplasmic and second is nuclear. So let's see this now. For example, you took a drug. So first the drug will bind to the cytoplasmic receptor. Then drug and receptor will make a complex and will enter the nucleus. And then after entering in nucleus, the nucleus will bind to its DNA. But if you gave the drug to the body, and it will bind sometimes to the nuclear receptor, but after attaching to the nuclear receptor, it will directly come again to the same step where cytoplasmic receptor has came. Both will come at this point where nucleus is bind to DNA, and after that it will give the effect of replication, transcription and translation. So what hormones come inside, like corticosteroid and vitamin D here, and in nuclear, as you can remember, SAT for sex hormone, vitamin A, and thyroid hormone T3 and T4. So in Hindi, as I will tell you, like intracellular receptor are slowest, बहुत स्लो होते हैं, वो हमारी बॉडी के सबसे स्लोएस्ट रिसेप्टर है, और वो टू डिवीजन में है. फर्स्ट है साइटोप्लाज्मिक एंड सेकंड इज न्यूक्लियर रिसेप्टर. फॉर एग्जांपल, आपने एक ड्रग लिया और वो अटैच हुआ साइटोप्लाज्मिक रिसेप्टर को, फिर उसके बाद हो जाएगा ड्रग रिसेप्टर कॉम्प्लेक्स का, ड्रग और रिसेप्टर का दोनों का कॉम्प्लेक्स बनेगा, और उसके बाद वो एंटर होगा न्यूक्लियस में. वो न्यूक्लियस जाके बाइंड होगा डीएनए पे. अगर आप दूसरा ड्रग देते हो और वो ड्रग फिर से बाइंड होता है न्यूक्लियर को, सो न्यूक्लियर विल डायरेक्टली स्किप दिस ऑल द स्टेप, ये सारी स्टेप को स्किप कर देगा और डायरेक्टली ये कम आ जाएगा दिस स्टेप पे, जहाँ पे वो न्यूक्लियर के साथ बाइंड होके डीएनए के अंदर इंटर करेगा. और आफ्टर एंड दोनों की प्रोसेस एट द एंड सेम ही होती है. अटैच होने के बाद दोनों एक ही चीज फॉर्म करते हैं, वो है इफेक्ट ऑफ रिप्लिकेशन, ट्रांसक्रिप्शन एंड ट्रांसलेशन. अब उनके दो एग्जांपल है. फॉर एग्जांपल कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड एंड विटामिन डी. एज यू कैन रिमेंबर सीडी, कि संडे के दिन आप सीडी लगा के सोफा में बैठकर देखते हो, मतलब सीडी पे देखते हो. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल सेक्स हार्मोन यहाँ पे विटामिन ए एंड T4 T3. सो मूव ऑन टू नेक्स्ट विच इज लॉग डोज रिस्पॉन्स कर्व. ये हमको क्या बताता है? ये हमको टू पैरामीटर्स बताता है. फर्स्ट पोटेंसी एंड एफिकेसी. सो व्हाट इज पोटेंसी? टू प्रोड्यूस अ सिमिलर रिस्पॉन्स इफ अ ड्रग इज रिक्वायर्ड इन लेसर डोज, इट इज मोर पोटेंट. कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक छोटा डोज दे रहा हूं और वो आपको सेम रिएक्शन दे रहा है एज कंपेयर टू बिगर डोज, तो उसकी पोटेंसी ज्यादा है एज कंपेयर टू अनदर ड्रग. और अगर ग्राफ में अगर देखोगे आप, द मोर लेफ्ट साइडेड कर्व होगा, मोर द पोटेंसी विल बी देयर, एंड अगर राइट साइड पे कर्व होगा लाइन का, तो वो लेस पोटेंस होगा. ये आपको मैं डायग्राम के साथ एक्सप्लेन करूंगा, बट फॉर नाउ जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस. So what is potency? Potency is a simple thing. If a drug you are giving a small amount and it is given more reaction, then it is more potent. And if you are giving more drug and it's not giving proper reaction, then it is less potent. So move on to the next thing, which is efficacy. Related to maximum effect of a drug regarded to less dose. Higher the curve, मोर द एफिकेसी. सो व्हेनेवर आप लॉग डोज का कर्व देखोगे, उसमें जितना हायर होगा उतनी हायर एफिकेसी होगी, जितना लोअर होगा उतनी लो एफिकेसी होगी. सो एक निमोनिक याद रखिए, HELP, हेल्प. हेल्प व्हाट? हेल्प टेल अस हायर, टेल अबाउट एफिकेसी ग्राफ अगर हायर होगा, लाइन अगर ग्राफ में अगर लाइन हायर होगी तो आपको एफिकेसी बताएगी, और जितनी वो लेफ्ट साइड में होगी उतनी आपको बताएगी पोटेंसी। सो एज पर वी रीड द डेफिनेशंस, विच इज द मोस्ट पोटेंट ड्रग, A, B, C or D. So as a formula we told, more to the left side, more is the potent. So which drug is more potent now? Because D is at the left side more than others, so D is more potent. So, and can you anybody tell which is less potent? As you can see, B is to the right side, that's why B is less potent. Okay, now what is efficacy? I told you, more the height, more the efficacy, lower the height, lower the efficacy. So in all these drugs, C has most height, so C is the most efficacy. And which is the smallest? D. D has the least efficacy because it is low in height. So I just want to tell one thing, that अगर ड्रग हायर होगा, ड्रग की लाइन अगर हायर होगी तो उसकी हायर एफिकेसी होगी, लोअर होगी तो लोअर एफिकेसी होगी। अगर लेफ्ट साइड में ज्यादा होगा तो मोर पोटेंट होगा, अगर राइट साइड में होगा वो तो लेस पोटेंट होगा। सो डी मोर इन द लेफ्ट साइड, तो ये मोर पोटेंट हुआ। अब बी राइट साइड में तो ये लेस पोटेंट हुआ। पर अगर हाइट की बात करें तो सी हैज द मैक्सिमम, सी हैज द मैक्सिमम हाइट, सो सी हैज मोस्ट एफिकेसी। यार ए और डी को हम देखें तो डी हैज लीस्ट एफिकेसी बिकॉज उसकी हाइट कम है। सो नाउ इन एग्जाम दे विल गिव फॉर एग्जाम्पल, दिस एग्जाम विल बी गिवन इन एग्जाम एंड दे विल आस्क विच इज द मोस्ट पोटेंट ड्रग। सो यू मस्ट रिमेंबर, मोर टू द लेफ्ट साइड more is the potent, more to the right side less is the potency, higher the line higher the efficacy, lower the line lower the efficacy. Clinical trials. What is clinical trials? Testing of drugs on humans is known as clinical trials. So for license authority for new drug, in USA you have to write FDA, whereas in India you have to write Drug Controller General of India. You have to write them, so they will allow you drug license that you can bring in market. So before making a drug, you should write a application for a new drug to the DCGI. Okay, when you in first phase of drug, you will check the drug on healthy human beings, like healthy volunteer you will bring, and you will check of drug effect on that people. In first phase you can only know maximum tolerant dose, okay, but you cannot test efficacy. In first stage you only give a small amount of drug to the healthy human volunteers and they will tell you about the effect of it, but you can just take maximum tolerance rate, that how much medicine you can give to a healthy human being. You can't check efficacy of that drug in that. But in second phase it is done on patients. That drug is given to the patients. First time you will know that efficacy of the drug, and it is done in single blind, that patient don't know that this medicine will work or no, this is new or they are testing on it. So it is a blindfolded, so patient is unknown of the medicine. In third phase it is done on group of people, like you will bring 500 to 5,000 people, you will give them medicine, and it is a multiple study, so confirmation of efficacy will be there. Again it is double blinded, so the examiner and plus the patient both don't know about that medicine effects. Then when you successfully know about complete these three phases, then you write a new drug application to NDA, which will allow you to sell the drug in the market. So next step, the drug will come in the market. But fourth phase, it's post marketing, because once the drug will come in the market, after some times, like from years or 2 years of the drug taking, you will know more side effects, so that comes in fourth phase. So maximum failure of a drug is come in second stage. Okay, and there is also one stage where is phase 0. In phase 0 you take a minimum of microdose of a new drug and you test on healthy human beings, but it is not asked in exam, that's why you can skip that part. So next part is pregnancy category. So A drug is the safest in pregnancy, where X drug is contraindicated, so it is not safe in pregnancy. There is one more problem that people mostly confuse in the exam. where is X category and X schedule. X category is contraindicated in pregnancy, but X schedule drugs contain narcotics. For example, ketamine, which you use as anesthetic agent. Okay, so this table, are you seeing this table? This is the most important table. Every year there is one question from this table. For gynecology, it's also important for you, because always they will ask that what medicine you will give to the pregnant lady and what medicine you will not give to the pregnant lady. So just better remember it, because it gonna come in exam. Next, fixed dose combination. What is fixed dose combination? When you add two or more drugs together to a partial ratio, so you can use it. For example, as you know, amoxicillin with clavulanic acid. This is one of the best example. It is given for sore throat and fever and bacterial infection. So when you combine two drugs together, what will happen? Compliance will increase, efficacy will increase. One drug can decrease the side effect of other drugs, so side effect will decrease, and two drugs you will get in one medicine, so cost will also decrease. But there are disadvantages also, because it is combined irrationally. Ratio cannot be changed. Like once you will add it, or when you make a drug, once you perform the whole chemical process, you can't change the ratio of that drug. If both and in third part, like when two medicines are combined to give a patient, you can't tell that this is side effect of this medicine which you added, because both medicine are added together, so side effect cannot be tell of which medicine it happened. And the last thing, two different pharmacokinetic drugs cannot be combined together or mixed together. And the last thing of today and the final thing of this chapter is prescription writing. So it is so important that you must learn, because you are a future doctors and you must learn how to write prescription. So in your right side, always write doctor details. For example, your name, your registration number and today's date. On left side, you will write your patient name. For example, your patient name is something XYZ. You will write, then you will write his diagnosis. What diagnosis he has? Sometimes he have fever, so you will write here fever. For fever, what you will give? You will give paracetamol 250 mg twice a day for 5 days. Okay, do not write OD, BD, because patient will not understand what is written. So better write full form. Always write medicine in full form, like paracetamol, no PCM, because it is wrong. No need of point after big digits, like for this. You no need to write like 5.0. You can only write 5 and it is correct. Always write in mg, not in micrograms. Okay, and in the last corner, always sign. Sign is important. This is the only thing you need to learn in this first chapter. So whatever your questions will be there, just write me in the comment box, or you can tell on my Telegram channel. PDF of this today's class I already shared in the Telegram group, so you can check there. So thank you and goodbye.